The storm outside was relentless, the wind howling as if the earth itself was in turmoil. Inside the hospital, the usual bustle was replaced by an eerie quiet. The emergency room emptied out, a heavy tension hanging in the air. Suddenly, the hospital doors burst open with a force that made everyone freeze. A lion, massive and majestic, stalked into the ER, its golden mane drenched from the downpour. Gasps filled the room. In its powerful jaws, the lion carried something carefully, a bundle wrapped in a tattered cloth. Its deep, piercing eyes scanned the room, filled with a quiet urgency. Nurse Sarah's heart pounded. She wanted to move, to run, but something held her in place. Fear, shock, or perhaps an instinct that this moment was far greater than anything she had ever experienced. Then, the lion did something that no one expected. It gently lowered its bundle onto the cold, sterile floor. There was no aggression in its movements, no growl, no threat. Only a silent, desperate plea for help. Sarah swallowed hard and took a cautious step forward. Her breath was shaky. "Is it?" she started, but her voice faltered. Her hands trembled as she bent down, carefully unwrapping the cloth. Inside, curled up and trembling, was a tiny lion cub, no bigger than her hand. It was soaked, shivering, and barely breathing. A fragile life hanging by a thread. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. She looked up at the lion. Its eyes, soft, pleading, held her gaze. Then the mother lion stepped forward and nudged her baby with her nose. A lump formed in Sarah's throat. This wasn't just any wild animal, this was a mother. The weight of the moment crashed down on her. How had this lion gotten here? Why had it come to them? But none of that mattered now. She spun around and rushed to the nearest doctor. "We need to help it," she pleaded, her voice urgent. The doctor moved quickly, assessing the cub while Sarah stayed close. The mother lion paced, restless, her golden eyes never leaving her child. Moments later, the doctor gave a quiet nod. "We can save it. It's weak, but we can stabilize it." Sarah let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Relief flooded her, but as she turned back to the lion, something caught her eye. A jagged, raw scar ran along the mother's side, deep, still healing. Her eyes widened. She fought for her cub. Sarah felt her chest tighten. This mother had risked everything, battled through pain and danger just to find help, and she had trusted them. Tears blurred Sarah's vision as the lion finally settled beside her, watching intently. The storm outside still raged, thunder rumbling in the distance. But inside, something profound had taken place. A bond had formed. A mother's love had brought her to the only place she believed could save her child. And Sarah knew in that moment that nothing would ever be the same again. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to discover.